The mythology of the Warcraft universe is melting away. What was once myth is now a character who we can meet. The Titan Pantheon, Sargeras, hell, we've even seen and walked around in the afterlife. And now, next, it is Elune. Patch 9.1 brings with it her reveal. So will it be satisfying? Well, we don't know quite yet, but I will say this. There's actually big potential here. So let's look at the lore reveals, let's dive into some mind-bending speculation, and let's build an incredible site with today's sponsor, squarespace.com/Bellular Gaming, where that Bellular Gaming code will get you 10% off your first purchase if you hit up that link down in the video description. Now look, it's quite simple. Squarespace are the fastest and easiest way for you to get a great looking website quickly. I have made 3 sites with them so far. Yeah, 3. There's our game studios sort of quick and dirty showcase that we put together in under an hour before Gamescom when we were doing some pitching and things. There's the Bellular site where we did our job listings. And over the past few weeks, you've seen the loot showcase and store site that I was able to build from the comfort of my sofa on an iPad in about 40 minutes. Yes, their site builder and award-winning templates are that easy to use, and whether it's desktop or mobile, your site will look great. So it's simple. You've got to have a website, be it your portfolio, a personal site, perhaps you're a business, or really anything else. That means that Squarespace are great for you because they're the easiest way for people like you and me, who perhaps are not big web designers, to get something that looks great fast. And of course, if you are a designer, well, that's good news because you can also dive into the custom CSS and work your magic as well. So you've seen how useful they've been for us. We've used them long before they sponsor the channel. They really have everything you need to get started, even now having membership functionality as well. So start off your free trial at squarespace.com/Bellular Gaming, code Bellular Gaming for your first 10% off. Thank you to Squarespace for supporting the channel. Let's go and get into this delicious Elune lore. Between the Night Warriors stuff in Battle for Azeroth, and a few things in Shadowlands, I think we knew we were going to be getting some big Elune lore. The first hint of this, of course, came during the Night Fae campaign, and this is when the Winter Queen actually called Ysera her sister's pet. Yeah, her sister's pet. Initial theories pointed to both Elune and Aenar, the Titan, being this sister of the Winter Queen. But recent reveals have confirmed that it is, in fact, Elune. The implications are massive, so let's go into the details. The background story, it's a long one, I'll do it short. We travel with Huln High Mountain to gather other Night Warriors who have found themselves in the Shadowlands. And of course, we do all of this to see if we can work out how to save Tyrande. And that's because in every case thus far, becoming the Night Warrior, the avatar of Elune's fury, has left the host rather dead. Now we don't want this to happen to Tyrande. So, we, the 3 Night Warriors, Ysera, Huln, Chandris, and the Winter Queen, all try to save Tyrande in a ritual. Chandris holds her down, and each Night Warrior is then amazed at the scope, the breadth, the intensity of Tyrande's rage, and just as it seems that rage is going to be cataclysmically explosive, a cutscene plays. We have not yet seen it, but the dialogue afterwards is revealing. Chandris could barely believe what she saw, and neither could Tyrande, even though it was playing out through her person. Tyrande claimed that she was present for every moment that occurred, but that she was outside herself. Chandris commented on the beauty and the sorrow in her voice, and of the tear left behind, a tear that Tyrande says is as much her own as it was hers. Who is her? Well, that tear, by the way, is a tear of Elune. Yes, just like the Pillar of Creation from Legion. And it certainly was Elune, because when Chandris asked Tyrande about the purpose of their people's souls, Tyrande revealed that Elune didn't tell her. And Tyrande said Elune. So overall, I think it's pretty damn clear that Elune has made her first ever appearance directly. and that Tyrande was in fact her avatar. That Elune's words came out through Tyrande's lips, all while she was watching it unfold, feeling outside of herself. It's rather incredible, big stuff, isn't it? The first Night Warrior to survive, there's that. And I think more importantly, our first direct interaction with Elune. Elune has spoken words to us, but that is far from all we've learned. This is what the Winter Queen had to say afterwards. My sister, after all this time, she did not abandon me. And then the game emotes. The barest hint of a smile graces the Winter Queen's face before it is gone. She turns her attention to you with the weight of aeons. Now there is so much to unpack here. This is hard confirmation that Elune is the Winter Queen's sister. That's big. It is confirmation that Elune abandoned the Winter Queen. And that means that at some point they felt close and then became rather estranged. And with this line, we actually know Elune's origin. Elune is not a Light Lord, not a rogue Void Lord, not a Titan, an Eternal. The Eternal ones, the Pantheon of Death that we know, Denathrius, the Primus, the Archon, the Winter Queen, they all refer to each other as siblings. And we now have two very intentional times where the Winter Queen has called Elune her sister. And this brings up really big questions. Like the other Eternals, did Elune have an original purpose? Something she was meant to do as a part of the First One's plan? Was she supposed to be a part of the Shadowlands? Perhaps of a Lifelands? Do the First Ones have other Eternals scattered throughout the cosmos? Is there a Lifelands with its pantheon of life, in the same way that we've got the material plane and its pantheon of order? Well, let's sort this thing out, starting with an old friend.
A remnant of power lingers in this broken temple. It must be ours. Come, enter the circle and take it. My mistake. It seems the upstart goddess still holds sway here. Oh well.
This is played when the blade-wielding priest attempted to absorb Elune's power in the Temple of Elune back in patch 7.2. It doesn't go well, the priest almost dies. But the point, of course, is Elune being referred to as upstart goddess. Now combine this with what we just found out from the Winter Queen, and I think it's all becoming rather clear. Elune obviously rejected her lot in life, and decided to take to the stars, doing what she felt was right. In a way, that's what Zovaal did, just that Zovaal likely betrayed his kin in a far more direct and painful way, resulting in his banishment. Now, you do have to wonder here why Blizzard are going so hard in this Elune lore right now. You know, why we've got this event of Tyrande being stripped of her Night Warrior powers. I have to wonder, could it be that Elune is our patch 9.2 reveal? Is that a part of what defeats Zovaal? Elune finally returning to her people, to her place, her plane? It's hard to say, but Ian Hazacostas did say that patch 9.2's story was going to be mind-bending and explosive. You know, that the end of the raid would be incredible. But of course, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves because we have so much to work out. Let's look at what Elune has actually done over the years. Elune has been working with Order, the Tears of Elune. Where have we seen that before? Of course, Legion. It was a pillar of creation. It was used to fight disorder. It was also used to order the planet. So yes, that is a direct link between Elune and the Titans, and it's one that goes way back because yes, those Tears of Elune were used in ancient times to order the planet. It was in fact Elune who taught the Kaldorei much, including Titan-forged words, potentially even the word Azeroth. Her acts spanned well beyond Azeroth though. Khadgar, of course, discovered an ancient tome indicating that Elune created the Prime Naru, and later in the Legion expansion, a Tear of Elune is used to awaken Xera. Now that we, of course, know the Tears of Elune are from Elune and not Aenar, that makes complete sense. It makes the Elune to light connection even more clear, for it was her tear that was able to reawaken one of her creations in Zira. Going cosmic, Elune has got confirmed worshippers everywhere. We have met Night Warriors from other worlds, and interestingly, they all call her Elune as well. So, like with Azeroth, could she have taken a personal interest in other races and worlds across the cosmos? Maybe even as personally as she did with Azeroth, like, say, birthing Cenarius, a wild god who embodies his mother's boundless love for life, and of course his father, Malorn's magical connection to the Emerald Dream. You do have to wonder, will Blizzard make there be a Lifelands with a pantheon of life, and will they bring in another connection there? Of course then, just look at the Kaldorite culture. It is split between the priestesses of Elune and the druids of the Emerald Dream. It's a society entirely geared towards the balance and the protection of life and nature. And that is a pattern that likely reflects Elune's ultimate ambition to protect and to cherish the life of the cosmos itself, of life everywhere. Could this pattern be seen elsewhere then? Well, beyond this, we know that Aenar hid from the Legion on a world called Elunaria. Now, we've got that data point, and the other one, that the Tears of Elune was Aenar's Pillar of Creation, because there was a Pillar of Creation for every Titan. The Hammer of Khaz'goroth, the Eye of Amenthul. We didn't have the Tears of Aenar, it was the Tears of Elune. And because of the Tears of Elune being Aenar's pillar, and Aenar hiding out in Elunaria, I think we can assume that Aenar and Elune are especially well acquainted. It's kind of odd that that information is being kept from us. But there are more odd things. There is a massive mystery to unfold. Elune's role in the light is downright confusing. So we know that the Void Lords are the ultimate villain, in a way, or at least we thought, and that they are stuck outside of creation. They're unable to manifest themselves in our universe. If they wanted to do that, well, one of their old god creations would have to corrupt Azeroth and use that power. Now, we also know that the light and the void are opposites, but more in the way that they are sides of a coin. That makes sense because we know that a Naru can turn from its light state into its void state. Oh shit, Elune created the Naru. The Naru that can go void, if they get interfered with. Double oh shit, this is what Xal'atath had to say about them.
I know the Naru consider us horrors to be resisted. We do not share this view. They are merely beloved brethren that lost the true path. They will return to their masters in time.
Right. Elune created the Void's long-lost brethren, the Naru. You know, that bunch that, usually when mortals interfere with them, as Locust Walker remarked upon, they turn into a state of void. And as seen in the Legion Priest campaign, they can even turn into a Void God, a very powerful entity of the Void. Now, Elune has been seen as a moon goddess, and that stuff that's very much rooted in our literal planet Earth and its moon, its culture. We, of course, have a tidally locked moon that's got a light side and a dark side. Her creation, the Naru, have a light side and a dark side. For Elune herself, we have seen both the serene goddess and the rage-fueled vengeful warrior. A light side and a dark side. Something went down here. There is another aspect to Elune, because we see all of this beauty, this wonder, this protection of life, and then we see the sheer fury and rage and destruction of the Night Warrior persona. There is more to Elune than just the serene moon goddess. Something went down here, and it went down long, long ago, and we have absolutely no idea what it could be, but clearly Elune has got deep ties to the strongest forces in Warcraft. Hell, those Naru that she created even went on to invade Revendreth, to invade the realm of her brother. Of course, Denathrius' Nathrezim had infiltrated the light, so the light went scorched earth. Now, by this stage, the Stone Rite, who actually was the first Night Warrior, well, she had died. So, an ex-Night Warrior defended Revendreth from Elune's creation, the Naru, who were trying to fight Elune's brother. So the Light, the Naru, probably knew what Denathrius was up to. But of course Elune, did she? Did she not? We do not know. We cannot know at this stage. I mean, even though the Naru, they were fighting Denathrius, who, of course, by that stage, had turned against the other Eternals, as he, of course, had secretly allied himself with Zovel, the Jailer. Confusing, isn't it? There's a lot going on here, more than we know right now. Elune has been clearly involved with a lot here, and very little of this stuff is stuff that we understand solidly. Now that said, I think there are some solid conclusions that we can draw. So let's do that. It's time to bring this all together and see where we stand with Elune. Elune was created by the First Ones, the grand ordering, the creation of the fundamentals of the cosmos, the creation of the forces and the systems that would set up and sustain everything we see. This happened at or before the creation of the cosmos as we know it. And like with the other Eternal Ones, she would have had a purpose. Though, she's an upstart goddess, so she clearly turned on her purpose. She turned her back on what she was meant to do, and she abandoned her siblings, the other Eternal Ones. She probably left because she saw how hostile the cosmos was, and had a boundless love for life that she needed to protect. She, I think, then traveled the cosmos and protected life wherever it appeared. Personally, interacting with civilizations, religions being formed around her, and expanding the influence of, in my opinion, the Lifelands. Of course, what we think of as the Emerald Dream, I believe, is but a realm of the Lifelands. This is a self-imposed mission that brought her into opposition with disorder, void, and death, of course via the Jailer. And in response, she allied with the forces of order and of life. I then think that she created the Prime Naru to give light form, to give light the form and the sentience that it would need to help in this cosmic struggle. So she worked with the Titans, helping to order world souls and protect the life that thrived in the surface of those worlds. She worked with the light, creating the Prime Naru and perhaps directing that Prime Naru force against the Nathrazim in the Shadowlands, depending on what she knew or not. She established a relationship with life, as we see expressed with her interactions with the Emerald Dream. Elune, ultimately, is an expert in cosmic warfare, in the grand game being played between all the various forces. We had previously speculated that Elune was in fact some sort of omni-god, one who really stood above all, above the Titans, literally the thing that the whole cosmic chart fed into. I think we were wrong. But in a way, what we got's not that far off, because she does remain an incredibly powerful, god-like figure. You know, she started off like the Winter Queen, but who knows how much more powerful she is now. But, while the whole universe doesn't feed into her or something like that, we do see her have this massive cosmos-spanning influence, right? All towards her own goal. And we don't know exactly what that goal is yet, but all signs do seem to point towards Elune having our back as we take our next big step in the increasingly strange cosmic journey through the Warcraft universe. Though I'd still really like to know why she, aided a few individual characters in the War of Thorns, but ultimately let Teldrassil burn. And really what the goal for all those Night Elf souls is, because clearly Tyrande and Chandris are wondering. We are too. So I sure hope Elune didn't let that tree burn when she could have otherwise made it not be so. And that is it for today's lore video. Damn, Elune. I didn't think we'd get this one so quickly, and I would encourage Blizzard to go nice and slow, because mythology is awesome, and some things are best not left explained. That is it for me. If you enjoy this content and would like to, support the people who make it and also get some pretty sweet loot for your person, you can check out the Patreon. But with that said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.